Welcome to Estepona by foot. If you're planning to relocate to Estepona or relocating to Costa del Sol, buy a property here, and you want to know everything about one of the most desirable places on the Costa del Sol, this video is for you. Stick around. Let's go. So this is where we start our tour, our guided tour by foot. We are right now behind us at the roundabout that unites Avenida Litoral, Avenida Andalucía, that goes around the entire center of Estepona, and Avenida de España. So follow me and let's talk about how Estepona, to start this tour, let's talk about how Estepona is laid out. So first of all, Estepona is separated into three. You have the new Golden Mile, which is on the east side, suburban. You have the center of Estepona, which is where we are right now, central Estepona. That's what we're going to be walking through. And then we have the west side of Estepona, which we call West Estepona. So that's exactly how the municipality of Estepona is laid out. But because today we're going to be walking through the center of town, let's talk about how Estepona center is laid out in the different areas. So it's quite simple. First of all, you have this promenade, which connects the center of town point to point. We're going to take a right in a moment and we're going to go into the old town, which is the traditional old cobble streets. Then further up, you have the part of the new town. We're going to go back to the new avenue that the community or the administration town hall are building, an investment of 60 million euros. And then we have the area of central Estepona, where we have the sports facilities, sports stadiums, all these different amenities. Then we'll go down to Las Mesas. And after Las Mesas, you have the harbor and the last part of town, which is the western part of town. So those are the areas we're going to talk, the areas we're going to see today in this tour. While we're walking to the old town, let's talk about the promenade. This promenade, as I said, connects point to point, and it's really the essence of Estepona living. People use it for morning strolls, evening strolls, after a nice dinner with the family, or, you know, on your weekends for a nice run. It's really that perfect essence of outdoor Spanish living. And just for your reference, today is March. This is the weather you'll get in Estepona in March. The climate here is fantastic, with over 320 sunshine days per year. Look how beautiful these sandy beaches look on March. So right now it's early, but you know, what is it right now? It's around 11 o'clock. Give it a few hours and you'll have the families and people walking on the beach, taking the dogs for walks, you know, families with kids playing. This is really what Estepona is all about. What you see here on the left-hand side is the Chiringuito. So you have all these little bars, restaurants, so everything around the promenade just screams life, life, life. Let's take a right and let's show you the old town. This is the right time to talk about Estepona's population. So one of the interesting things about Estepona is that Estepona is comprised of a pool of 120 nationalities, which makes Estepona super, super varied in cultures. You have people from all over the world. Some really interesting facts is that the Estepona population from 2014 to 2024 has grown in over 20%. And from all the population of Estepona, which is around the 77,000 people, 27% are foreigners. That's a unique setup. You imagine nearly 3 of every 10 people you see behind me are actually foreigners that have come to relocate to Estepona. So we're making our way from the old town all the way to the new part of town. And this is a perfect street to show you guys what the old town looks like. These are Casa Matas, typical Spanish houses, which are in the center of the old town. And the old town is comprised of Casas Matas, urbanizations that are a lot smaller in size. And then you have loads of commercial premises with nice little restaurants and shops, super boutique, and, you know, as you can see, with a real Spanish essence. Estepona Old Town is the soul of the city, with so much history, that cobble street, beautiful flower pot vibe, full of tapas bars, boutique hotels, and just so much. It's very artistic and super clean, beautiful, but still with that sort of, not ancient, but typically Spanish feel. We're about to walk to the new part of town. We're about to take a right turn and we're going to take the connection street. What we would like to mention in this point is that Estepona is super welcoming, it's super safe and super flat. Let's talk about the new part of town, which you guys are about to see right now. The new part of town is super clean, super fresh. The town hall has invested so much cash in bringing the entire level of the city up. I mean, actually, it reminds me of Calle Larios in Malaga. We're going to take a turn right here. So what do you guys need to know about the new part of Estepona is that it's full of shops. It's full of life, full of restaurants, you know, boutique shops, high-end shops, absolutely a bit of everything. it has that real Malaga feel. What's fueled the growth in Estepona? It's mainly infrastructure investment, international attention, the quality of the lifestyle, and a lot of attention from Northern European markets who decided to come and live in this beautiful town. This, for your reference, is Calle Terraza. It's a very newly paved, beautiful street that connects all the way up from the promenade all the way up to the center. So we're going to walk you up here to show you what the essence of what I call New Town is. Why is New Town not Old Town? Because the Old Town has the Casas Matas. Here we start getting into, you know, bigger buildings, bigger areas, and if we continue walking that way, we get to the town hall. If we walk 2 minutes down the road, we have the sea. One of the nice things of Estepona is wherever you are, if you're in the Old Town or the New Town, you never more than 5 minutes walk from the sea or the promenade. So everything's very well connected. What do you think about Estepona, Mark, behind the camera?
Literally, I know I say this a lot, this is one of my favourite places. In fact, it's my favourite place.
So we were just saying just now that, you know, if you do live in the center of Estepona, obviously you don't need a car, but how nice is it to live in a casamata or to live in an apartment and be able to walk out, have a coffee, have all this life at your doorstep, you know, have the promenade. Super unique, right? I'm really excited to show the viewers what the town hall has done and a bit more information on Mr. Urbano, which is the mayor, and the work he's done. There's so much more growth that still has to come to Estepona, and people think that's difficult, but there's a lot more to come. All right, so we've just arrived at Plaza Antonia Guerrero. So this is a lovely little plaza in the center of town. We're now going to walk. So what we've done so far, by the way, is we've walked from the east side all the way across the promenade, walked up the old town, into the new town, up to Plaza Antonia Guerrera. And now what we're going to do is walk you guys back to the promenade, cross a bit more of the promenade towards the new town hall, and then show you the area of North Estepona, the stadium, all the sports facilities, Las Mesas, the harbor, and the west. What's interesting for me as a Spaniard is being Spanish. When I grew up in Marbella, Estepona didn't really have a name for itself. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, Estepona has come on the map in the last 10 years. One of the reasons which needs to be mentioned is the infrastructure investment and also what the town hall is doing to attract international investors and developers. Like before, Estepona was not really a place that had a name on the coast, and it's sort of turned into a trendy hotspot. And this is something that's going to continue. It's not something that's going to change. Estepona has a brand of its own. And when we say Marbella is the king of the coast, Estepona is catching up. Maybe 10 years down the line, who knows, maybe 20, but it's a bit different. It's got a different sort of feel. It's going to be very interesting to see where Estepona is in 15 years from now. But so far, you know, as a Malagueño, a person from Malaga, I'm super proud to see how fast it's grown and how well it's grown and the quality of the businesses, the people, the town, everything. So really nice. Actually, I will also add for you guys that are not, you know, that see everything behind me is that this is like, it's called the Garden of the Coast because it's one of the most greenest city centers of the entire Costa del Sol. The plants, they're always pruning, they're always changing plants. Everything is so well maintained. And that's quite unique for a city of Spain. So we've just taken a quick pit stop in Plaza de las Flores. This is one of the most beautiful little piazzas or squares in the old town of Estepona, and definitely a perfect place to come for a coffee. There's always life. And for those guys that want a very nice evening experience, just behind me you have Macaco Restaurant, which is absolutely one of my favorites in the town. So we're leaving Plaza de las Flores and we're heading back to the promenade. By the way, quick tip, just next to Pacaco, La Casa del Rey, one of the best tapas places. At the moment it's closed, but in the evening, you'll need to try the tapas this place serves. They're incredible. While we're walking towards the promenade, let's talk about who lives in Estepona or who Estepona is for. Estepona actually is for everyone. If you're a young family relocating to Spain, Estepona can be perfect if you're looking at an outdoor lifestyle way of living. But it also serves a perfect place for, you know, people which are looking to retire and have a coast life that mixes that international feel with Spanish essence and Spanish tranquility. If you are more of a suburban person and you like to not live in the center, you like what you're seeing here, but you don't really want to live in the center of it, the suburban areas of Estepona, both the New Golden Mile and West Estepona, what we call it West Estepona, could be perfect. So you could live in the outskirts and just be a 10-minute drive away from this. And generally speaking as well, in the suburbs of Estepona, you'll have your own sort of commercial centers, your own hubs. So you will only come to Estepona if you want a day out or a night out with the family or so on. So we're just about to take a right here and we're gonna go onto the promenade. This is one of my favorite stretches. Just check this out. This used to be a drivable, let's say, road. So this used to have traffic. And I think they did a very good move by eliminating, let's say, car traffic and just having this as pedestrian and bicycles. When you think of Costa del Sol Garden, you think Estepona, and I think of this little stretch of the Paseo Marítimo. Actually, we can show all our viewers, we play chess here if you wanted to. We're now walking towards the town hall, and we want to show you guys what the Estepona town hall looks like, the building, and we're going to talk about the mayor, which is a super interesting guy. At the moment of filming this video, we're in the middle of the constructions of La Avenida Boulevard Central, which is the massive 60 million euro investment the town hall's doing to connect this entire avenue from the town hall all the way down to the bottom. It's going to be absolutely unique. Another infrastructure investment by the town hall. So if you're visiting next year in 2026, I think you're going to love how it looks. We are here at the town hall of Estepona, and this town hall would be absolutely nothing without mentioning José María García Urbano, which is the mayor of Estepona since 2011 and has done some of the greatest things for Estepona city center. And let me tell you a few of them. Upon taking office in 2011, the first thing he did was start working pro bono for the town hall. I'm not sure if it's still the case right now, but definitely was the case when he took office, and he's made this city into an international hot spot. Interesting fact, the Estepona town hall had over 300 million euros in debt. Today it's under 50 million euros. And they've cut all this deficit, cut all these losses, cut all this debt, at the same time invested in infrastructure, attracted hundreds of millions of euro worth of development investment, infrastructure improvements, including all the north stadiums of Estepona, which we're going to show you in a moment, all the sport facilities, and the Estepona Hospital, boulevards, and just so much more. A fun fact is that in 2019, José García Urbano installed a slide between two streets, went viral in Spain, and 24 hours after it opened, it had to close because some people reported injuries. He's a really fun, open-minded guy which really wants the best for Estepona and takes big risks, and at the moment they've all worked great. So we couldn't have anyone better in the front of this city than this guy. We are at the Athletic Stadium. We've walked up from the town hall, and this is why Estepona was named the Athletic City of Europe, believe it or not. We have the Athletic Stadium here, the football stadium over there. There's the stadium of Francisco Muñoz Pérez, very famous, remodeled a few years ago. And behind us, a whole lot of sport facilities. So for you sports enthusiasts, Estepona has a bit of everything from tennis courts, tennis clubs, paddle clubs, everything regarding sport, water sports, and goes without saying, golf in Estepona is amazing for those golf lovers. We have golf courses every 5 minutes. It's been a 10-minute walk from the town hall. We're gonna walk back down that way, and we're gonna walk to the area of Las Mesas as our next stop. And when we get to Las Mesas, we're gonna talk a bit about this new and upcoming area, and then we're heading to the harbor. After just nearly 2 hours of walking around Estepona, we've just arrived to Las Mesas. Everything you see here on my left-hand side behind me is El Parque de las Mesas. It's a public park, beautiful to walk around with dogs. There's kids' playgrounds and so on. Just above you've got the paddle club of Las Mesas, also a gym and fitness center. And everything behind me is the new area of Las Mesas. This was absolutely nothing many years ago, and it's the most contemporary residential area of Estepona. So if you're in the market for a contemporary property in Estepona, this is the new residential area, super modern, contemporary apartments, high-end living, and you are 5 minutes from the center, 5 minutes from the harbor, 10 minutes from the old town, really walking distance to everything. So just to put some names out here, you have a lovely development called South Place, South Sands, South Bay, you've got Las Mesas Collections, Las Mesas Homes, Alexia Life, Scenic, and many more. So that's what Las Mesas is all about. Suburban living in an urban setting. That's the best way of explaining it. So let's go and see the harbor, let's go and see the marina and show you what it's all about. This is the perfect time to talk about healthcare in Estepona. So while we're walking towards the harbor, let me tell you about it. In Spain, you have two kind of, let's say, services. You have the public healthcare system where you have the national hospitals, which are great. And then you also have a combination of small private clinics, which are scattered around the entire coast. So generally speaking, The public hospitals are for the most serious things, but people that live here, which are expat communities, normally have a private health insurance and then are covered by these small little clinics scattered around. In Spain, healthcare, as a side note, is not that expensive compared to other parts of Northern Europe and North America. Right, so we're nearly at the harbor, which I'm excited to show you guys. Before we get there, I thought right now is a really good time to talk about education. So if you're looking to relocate to Spain or to Estepona with kids, let me give you a list of the most important or the schools you need to know about for the Spanish public sector and then for the private schools in Estepona. So starting with the best in my opinion, we'll actually leave a link in the description and we'll summarize all of them in the description of this video so you can check them out. But the most important ones I would say in the private sector would be the following. Colegio San José, the International School of Estepona, Atalaya International School, the Mayfair International Academy, Colegio Bilingüe Atalaya, and the Atlas American School of Malaga. Those will be the most important private schools. And then some public schools which you guys will need to know about is the Colegio Público María Espinosa, the Colegio Sierra Bermeja, Simón Fernández, and the Tomás de Aquino. So those will be the main public schools and the private ones. So we'll leave those in the description of this video. Let's go and check out the harbor. So nothing like a bit of rain to finish the video. This is exactly what we need on a warm day. Let me tell you guys about where we are right now. We're in the harbor of Estepona, one of the pillars of Estepona, one of the big landmarks. This yachting harbor is a beautiful harbor year-round, loads of restaurants and nightlife all the time. A definite must visit in the Estepona trip. Right guys, that's a wrap of our Estepona by foot. We hope you liked it. Like always, we are listening to your comments in the description of this video. So if you have any comments, any questions about Estepona, videos you'd like us to produce, or any questions, comment those below. Like this video if you thought it was useful. And if you are new to this space, press that button. Would love you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay posted with the best of the best. Until the next time, hasta luego.